And he's running good. Wow. That little tweak. Oh yeah, let's go right out. Calling about buying you, Minnie. Oh, that's gonna be a sad day, man. Dude, I don't know. I think I'm gonna just keep the van in the truck for a while and decide which one I just can't live without. Because, man, Minnie's a fun, very useful vehicle. Extremely fun, extremely useful. I mean, it can get, the pickup truck can get anywhere a four-wheeler can, so, stand to reason. But there are things about it that I'm kind of a little bit torn about, like, for example, the amount of room in this cab. There's, yeah, I am 5'11", about 177, so it's just, yeah, I mean, just after a while, there's really no extra room in here. And that's why I think a cargo van would be a lot more my speed. Plus, the cargo van is a 5-speed and 68 horsepower, and it'll actually do 75. So I'll be able to get on the highway, although that's probably a suicide mission waiting to happen. I think the back roads are better cruised in a K truck anyway. I mean, some places you can't get there without getting on the highway, but for the most part, in Georgia, there's a back road to anything. I think I actually routed, you know, that's one of the things, if I get the turbo van and I ended up converting it into an RV and I like it, there was a route that I had checked out all the way up to Silver City, and it was all back roads avoiding the highways. So that would probably be a really cool trip. To stay in some of those abandoned gold mines, do some videos, do some cooking. That's what I was thinking. See, because on a day like this, you're pretty much stuck in the Hijet. I mean, unless you God forbid, they do make slide-in campers for them, and they're quite nice. And I tried real desperately to get one, but the people that have them in Japan keep telling me they can't import them right now because there's a global shipping container shortage, and it might be really, really expensive to just ship just in. And one of them, the guy came forward and said, "Hey, I'll put up the money if you wanna sell 5 of these mini trucks for me." God knows I could have, but after we got looking into it, they would only deliver it to New York, so I would have had to drove up to New York with some kind of rented truck and trailer set up, and just logistically it wasn't going to happen. So then we get into Coleman USA, who is, I think, their Coachman travel trailers. I think that's who makes the Coleman brand. But there is a Coleman Lantern. Coleman Lantern makes a slide-in camper that is beautiful for this truck, and they can't sell it to me legally because it has Japanese liquid propane systems on it, and it's not 12 volts. So they'd be screwing me around. And I can see their point. You know, they don't want to set themselves up for me to complain when it has Japanese equipment in it, and that's not quite legal to use and sell here in the U.S. according to like some trailer parks and stuff like that. So I'm like, great. So where do you go from there? Went to California and then Colorado looking, and there is a group in Colorado that does custom slide-in campers for just this sort of application, for applications like to Tacomas and what's that one? That Honda Ridgeline. Yeah, the Honda Ridgeline. The short bed Rangers and stuff like that. The stuff that's not common. They make custom jobs for that. So I talked to them, and basically they were like, look, this would be like half the materials and half the cost. It's like half the camper. You know, it's half the size. But they were warning me that it might be a little cramped inside and that it's going to be about $13,500. And that's about fair, but for all that I can get for that, you can spend about $10,000 and get you a bed inside of a pod with wheels on it. They call that a teardrop. I'm not about them. I think I'd stay in one as a novelty just because it was kind of fun, but it just doesn't look like much to me for $10,000. And for $10,000, they want $10,900. Just because they're asking doesn't mean they're going to get it, but they're asking $10,900 for a cherry condition Daihatsu Atrai AC7 turbo van. It's hilarious. It's in as good a shape as this thing is. has quite a few less miles on it. Looks like one owner, and it's got turbocharger intercooler engine, which is like a little Ferrari or something, or a little Porsche, and it looks like a hell of a lot of fun. And the guy said that it's amazing. That the guy in Japan had said it's like 68 horsepower and like winds out to $6,000. It's a hilarious little truck, and it's actually, you know, just in its prime. So I think that's the way we're going. I think we're going to make a camper van, a micro camper van, 4x4, that looks like Ratchet the Transformer from Generation 1 Transformers. The interior is going to be cleverly disguised to make it look like a Sapporo District Japanese ambulance. The bed's going to be a medical cot. The solar showers and other containers hang on the IV bag container, so it'll have remote control lights in it. I'll definitely make sure it has a good stereo system put in it, good speakers like this thing does, because that's been one of the best parts of this truck. Is how fun it is, and the sound system just plays, and it's hilarious to listen to. Man, Mini is running really good. I mean, really good. You just hear how smooth everything's running and how well it's revving out, how strong it is. Like I said, I'm gonna be depressed when I sell this thing, because it's a pretty cool thing to get. Something as rare and unicorn like as an Atrai AC5 turbo van, but me and Minnie got about a year's worth of memories between us, and they've all been good ones. But she's running better than ever. Funny how little components can amount to huge gains in these things. They're so simplistic. Woo, the train's going. Yeah, man, she's running really good. Crisp shifts. That's another thing about this truck, is that all the stuff works on it. And it's kind of unusual to see it all work. Everything just like it was new. Yeah, I looked up these speakers, man. These speakers, it turned out they're pretty expensive. They JL Audio Marine speakers, 6-inch, full range. They have a lot of bass in them, and they sound really good. But damn, they're like $480 a set. The head units, like, I looked it up right now, those head units are like, I'd get one for like 160, 200. Not bad, not bad. Woo, did you hear that, Ray? Heavy rain beats on this thing like a drum, and it's so tightly strung on this hollow sheet metal, man. It really makes a noise. Cargo train. People see this thing going past them and then they're like, I mean, like, sometimes you'll get the most dumbfounded faces out of these people. I mean, they like turn around, point at you, go, woo! Like, that like disrupted their whole day, like they were thinking about taxes or something, and just all of a sudden you come along and they're like, what is that? No, stop, what is that? Yeah, I think it was earlier this year, this train derailed just past here the other direction, and it just short of took out everything in its path. There was a tiny little, it used to be a store, and now it's an emission testing place, but those rail cars came within 3 feet of that place, and that guy was at work. He had to have been just crapping his pants. There's a Jeep behind me that is about 4 feet higher than a mini truck. Jesus, look at that thing. You know, people, I always talk about like the mini truck being big. I'm probably crazy. The mini truck is actually really small. It's I think it's 4.5 feet wide by 6 foot high. I mean, it's teeny weeny. This Jeep in front of me is bigger than it. Little compact thing, front wheel drive, with its license plate holder on upside down. Mini's running good. Always a good thing when your efforts pay off. It's a lot like working on a motorcycle. I was talking to we have a group of us that go around in the minis, and Alvin, he put a Yamaha Rhino carburetor on his Suzuki, and he made it work. Like, I mean, it is the most asinine, childish hack job you ever saw, because he just wanted to get it to work. But yeah, it freaking works. Even the vacuum system works on it, because he drilled a hole in the side of the carburetor and put where the suction comes through, and he put a tube going from it. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh no. What happened? Somebody choked on a biscuit. Yeah, somebody choked on a biscuit. Need the Heimlich maneuver or something. Ooh, nice black FJ. That's that same guy that owns the Waffle House. I remember that one. not much. Smell the barbecue place, not much else. That barbecue place sucks, by the way. Dreamland Barbecue. These people cared for about a week, and then it just went really downhill from there. And now they got a taco place across from them, just eating their lunch. And that's sad when a nacho place is beating a barbecue joint. I mean, something's wrong with that. And I tried telling their management that, and their management didn't want to listen to me, and now they're getting their lunch ate. So it goes to show you, sometimes people that are just watching on the sidelines, sometimes they do know what they're looking at. But yeah, the turbo van, the plan for that is to make it look exactly like G1 Transformers Ratchet. I've already got the Autobot symbol for the front, the nose. I've got a set of red and white warning flashers for the roof that are just about exactly as the toy had on it. But they're LED and they're really cool. They're like 15 mode, really super bright. So at night this thing is going to look incredible. I'm going to get these headlights. The H4 won't work. The H4 is like it requires relays and stuff, and it has a different fixture, so I'm not going to be able to use these headlights, but I still should be able to find some kind of really super bright LED headlights for it, and then I'll begin converting all the rest of them. Someone had asked me about my light, because it looks really good at night, and I did that to it, and they're asking me how I got the blinkers and stuff to act normal. Well, these are common ground cars, so they will have a one big bolt that's the master ground for everything, and then they'll use a system of relays and stuff to actuate components. So how I got around that was by leaving the light bulbs in the dashboard going. They're very small incandescent bulbs, but they provide just enough resistance for that system to act normal. But you get a really nice gain. Every light bulb on this truck was pulling about 10 volts, and now it pulls barely 1 volt. So that's a lot of extra power going back in toward the ignition system and making it run right and making the motor run strong. Or look at this, 4th gear pulling. Little bastard pulls in 4th gear. Yeah, you really can't get to not pull. But yeah, anyone, if you've driven a mini truck, you've seen how sometimes it won't, in top gear, they have a lot of trouble getting up hills and stuff. Not this one. But that's all you gotta do is just put a new battery in it, tune it up a little, use the right fuel, drive it. Mini truck's like a motorcycle. It really likes to be driven. That's why I take it out every day, because it doesn't like to sit still. Tires, I think actually I'm going to sell it with a better set of tires on it, just so I have peace of mind that someone's not going to pop one of these golf cart tires and, you know, die. So I think I will actually do my due diligence and have another set of tires put on here. These are looking a little bit worn in the front and a little flat in the back. They did the job, they look good, they just too bouncy. Man, I'm going to get a set of Yokohama mud grippers, because they come in trailer tire size, and that's what these tires are. They're like trailer size or golf cart size tires. 145 60R 12. Ain't that something? At one point last year, There was one set of mini truck tires to be had in the country. They're so unusual size, and I had to wait for them to come out of California. But trailers these days must use different tire size. Maybe it's just the cold, dense air today.